You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, working for you.
And this is Saturday, March the 30th, and you have entered this Easter weekend edition of Overtime, where we are reminded on this night every single year via the traditional replay of the movie The Ten Commandments and Yul Brynner's amazing work within that bald guys are pretty cool. I mean, Savalas, Yul Brynner, Michael Jordan, just saying. Now, this bald guy was hard at work today trying to scare up highlights on a reduced holiday slate, and the best of the lot happened literally right behind me in our own backyard at Quincy High School, taking on Geneseo today. Game number one of the doubleheader, little bonus coverage because we got there early. Tykel Hammers trying to close things out. Geneseo down 8-5 at this point. A bases-loaded walk, though, puts them back within striking distance, but Mr. Hammers is going to drop the hammer right there and slam the door shut. He added a three-run homer. Quincy High School wins game number one, 8-6. Game number two now, a battle in this one with Kyle Taylor on the bump for his squad. The Blue Devils looking for the sweep, and Mr. Taylor was equal to the task, painting the inside corner right here to get the early out. Beautiful stuff from him. Geneseo, though, would strike early, and shortly thereafter, a base hit to short brings in a run, and all of a sudden, Geneseo is up 3-0 in this contest. Mr. Taylor, though, dialed back in, and the high fastball here is going to get the job done for him. He's not done. Ooh, he made that young man very upset. He had more high heat working for him right there to end the inning. Pick it up a little bit later. One on for Quincy High after a leadoff walk. Kyle Taylor is going to fly to shallow right center field. Unfortunately, though, the runner is doubled up at first base, and that was kind of a killer at that point. Still, Quincy High School, after the big win, buoyed and moving on and soldiering forward. Tykel Hammers going to get it going again right here. The single through the left side. 2 on for Nate Conrad, who's going to deliver big. He nearly leaves the yard here. He's going to hit the fence in left center field. 2 runs are going to score, and that Geneseo lead is now down to 3-2. Then it was Owen Zenger, who might be as hot as anybody in the Blue Devil lineup right now. He's going to get a little flare over second base to bring home another run and score things in a tie at 3-3 at that point. And Geneseo's going to be feeling like we're throwing our best punches and we're still getting nothing done. A little bit later, some defensive help as well coming in this one for Kyle Taylor. How about Evan Sohn, our guy with the grab right here to get out of the inning? He does this about as well as anybody out in center field. You know what? John Wood got a gem defensively in that young man. Blue Devils trailing 5-3, top of the 6th. Here we come. Blue Devils down 6-5 in this one. It's Mr. Lawson, Cameron Lawson, freezing the batter with a strikeout on in relief. Later in the inning, Mason Ritter throws out a runner trying to steal from second to end the inning. Good stuff right there. Bottom of the 6th. How about some fun? Kyle Taylor going to find some green grass in center field to put a runner on. Brady Lowe, the hero pitching-wise in game number one, going to hit one to right center field that is dropped. Taylor is going to slide into third, but ball was thrown out of play, bringing him home to tie the game at 6. And again, it's Nate Conrad time. So clutch today. He's going to single to left. Mr. Lowe is going to score, giving Quincy High the 7-6 lead. And yes, Quincy High doing work in this one behind Mr. Conrad's great bat right there. Top 7 now after the run scores. 1 on, no out. The hard line drive. Again, it's Mr. Conrad doing his thing, this time defensively. Gets a double play, and then Cameron Lawson's going to deliver the strikeout in this one. Quincy High School gets the sweep. Are you kidding me? At Geneseo. What a weekend for Coach Lawson and company as they win game number 2 by the final count in this one of 7-6. Good weekend to be a Blue Devil fan. That is huge momentum headed into next week. Elsewhere on the high school docket today, Jacksonville's pitching staff, a combined shutout today against Quincy Notre Dame. 2-0 was your final in that contest. How about Liberty riding the pitching stylings of Levi Hayner today, who was brilliant against Macomb as the Eagles get a big win. 3-1 your final there. Pittsfield magnificent today as well. Game number 1, yeah, a wonderful pitching performance by Justin Pennick in that one as JP goes with the no-hitter. 7 strikeouts in that contest. He was a hit batsman away from a perfect game in that contest. Game number 2, a little different affair as Pittsfield jumped out to an 8-run lead in a blink and never looked back, dropping the accelerator and winning this one 15-1. Not sure the Saukeys like tasting defeat this week for the first time to Rushville Industry. They have responded nicely, bouncing back ever since. Route Catholic on the road today at Piasaw Southwestern. The Easter Bunny making an early appearance with Easter Bunny friends in this one. 8-2 route taking on a Piasaw Southwestern team that's very, very good. Big time showing, and yeah, Ryan Turner had his ace on the hill, Conrad Charpentier, but before he even got there, going to do some work with that left-handed swing of his, driving home Bryson Mossman. It's 1-0 just like that in favor of the Rockets. And then Mr. Charpentier looked very sharp indeed. He would start out dealing right here, going outside low corner for the strikeout there. He's not done. In the game now, tied in the second inning. Yeah, Charpentier again getting out of any further damage. 1-1 at this point. The Birds later in this contest had runners at second and third, no outs. Smart play here by Isaac Long at third to get the guy trying to get home. That cuts down the lead runner, and somehow Charpentier, thanks to a nice tag by Nolan Turner, is going to get out of this jam with a strikeout of his own to end the threat. And then top of the fifth, here come the Rockets trying to put together the comeback. Nolan Turner, the single to start things off. It's Conrad Charpentier yet again. They call him Philly. I have no idea why, but he filled it up right there. That's a 2-run jack that spotted Route Catholic, a 3-1 lead. Unfortunately, they lose this game in extra innings by the final count of 4-3. And to compound matters for the Rockets today, their second game with Piasaw Southwestern, kind of a disaster as well, as they got behind early big and had to rally and just couldn't get the job done, as Route Catholic loses that one by the final count of 11-8. Isaac Long with a couple of ribbies in defeat. Our first look this season at the Pleasant Hill softball squad, very highly regarded, and as well they should be in this one, taking on Jersey today at the Slam at Piasaw. McKinley Lowe in the circle, and that means really tough hitting conditions for Jersey. Strikeout to open the game. She's not going to be done by a long shot in this one. She's going to strike out the side in the first, sign of things to come. Just too much heat. The masked assassin, if you will, in this one. She struck out 17 on the day. Good effort for her. Gave up just one hit. More on her in a second. She didn't get a lot of run support. Didn't need a lot. Ava Wombles, are you kidding me? Just golfed this thing. Future St. Louis Billiken showing you the D1 stroke right there as she knocks out the solo shot. Later, a 2-0 lead, all McKinley today. Those 17 strikeouts and the one-hitter. Yeah, you got to love the Ava Wombles fan club in this one as well. Pleasant Hill gets the win in game number 1 against Jersey. 2-0 your final there. And then the Wolves go to work. They fell into an early hole today, playing in that second game against Piasaw Southwestern, rallied all the way back in this one. McKinley Lowe with a home run, 4 ribbies. She came in relief, struck out 8, and gets both wins today. So good work from the All-Stater, as you can see right there. Good pitching stuff from her in the circle. Let's take you over to Springfield. We had the Porta Slam going on. Liberty taking on Riverton. J.C. Blair getting a chance to pitch. She was excited when she threw a strike. Check her out with her first career strikeout, at least at the varsity level. She's giddy and overjoyed, and she is a great highlight tonight, and she had plenty of run support, because in the bottom of the first right here, Shea Ianson with the RBI single right there. That starts things off. Actually, it doesn't. It's already 5-0, and the lead would just keep growing in this first inning. Ava Hemming doing her thing. She's been hitting very, very well. The RBI looper to left plates another run. Tiffany Will, she is a dangerous bat. You see it here all the way through the left side of the infield. Nobody's going to stop that. It's a 3-run chopper, made it 12-0 at that point. More from the bat. Shea Ianson again. Shea with a nice piece of hitting. It was kind of like being thrown batting practice today, and the defense against wasn't really good either, but we're just going to chalk up the runs in this one. Claire Obert doing some work right here. Nice piece of hitting from her. Leave you with a little more Tiffany Will today, as it would be Liberty blowing out Riverton by the final count in this one of 16-0. Could have been a lot worse. The Lady Eagles showed a lot of mercy in this contest in getting it done. So a pretty good day over in Springfield overall for the Eagles, who played 3. They split the other 2, beating South County at 10:30 in the morning, 8-3. Ava Hemming, again, as I mentioned, hitting very well right now. She had a ribby, 2 hits, and a double in that contest. Porta, way too strong for Liberty, though, in the middle of the afternoon. 17-14 was your final there. Speaking of softball, big doings yesterday in Barrie, as we saw maybe the rise of an uneclipsed new power. Before I get there, I got to mention that Jacksonville today beat Beardstown 2-1. Shelby Goodrich, a good pitching effort today in a losing cause. Now, let's get back to the Lady Suns. Uneclipsed right now in the way they've looked out of the gate this season. Mary Quiggle's got something neat brewing right now on the diamond in Augusta.
Our hitting, this is the best that we've hit so far this year.
I think we've been doing really well. Our hitting's really good and been really good the last few games, and the defense is really good too. So it's nice to know I have a good defense behind me.
They have won 3 of 4 this spring, including Friday's red letter 8-1 victory at Barry Western. Signs, perhaps, that Southeastern Lady Sun softball is reaching for a new level of relevance after taking repeated lumps in recent years.
Really good. I mean, we've had 2 good pitching shows the last 2 games. We just got to keep it up during regionals is when we got to do.
Yeah, I'm excited for regional time. I think we can do good.
As good as the everything else has been, it is the Suns in the circle that may be Southeastern's brightest cause for optimism. Back-to-back one-hitters against Unity and now Western are proof positive that 2 Griswolds are better than 1. Big sister Zoe, who signed with St. Louis Community College back in January, is an already proven and valued commodity. While sophomore sister Kenzie, the author of that Western win on Friday, is carving out her own considerable niche.
Yeah, I have a few more pitches now since last year, so those have been working well, and it's fun.
She can make corrections with what she's doing. She knows what to do. The ball's going too far inside or too low. She knows what to do to make those corrections. And her sister, she had a one-hitter last night. No walks, no errors, and a one-hitter last night. You understand, the Griswold girls, they've pitched all winter long. And that made a huge difference for us right now.
Only loss to date to that Quincy Notre Dame powerhouse, so obviously off to the nice start. Good story to keep an eye on as the spring unfurls. Speaking of good stories, we have great stories brewing for you tonight. Track and field, both at the high school and college level, including highlights from the 73rd Quincy High Invitational when overtime continues.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, working for you.
And welcome back to Overtime, everybody. 73rd Quincy High Invitational. It was perfect weather conditions and a good day to be Ephraim Vua. Why not? Rushville Industries powerhouse going to work, winning the shot put today with a throw of 14.55 meters to win the event. Let's take you to the longer distance events, 3,200 meter. Why would we be surprised? Everybody running in a pack today, boys and girls, and Liberty's going to sweep the event in terms of titles. Lane Obert finished in a time of 10:32 for the victory. Briella Nyson going to finish as the girls champion in a time of 12:40 as well. Again, nobody does distance quite like Liberty. Girls 100-meter hurdles coming up now. Check out the middle of your screen. Gianna Kemner going to work in this one. You will see her pop up and you will see her dominate in this one. A time of 17:53 to get the Blue Devils started nicely. Your second place finisher in this one, Brooklyn Duncan, as she would end up in a separate heat, but she would finish second on the day as well, so congratulations to her. Boys 110-meter hurdles, it is Camp Point Zach Weir doing Zach Weir type things. You know the athleticism involved here. He was really good today, winning in a time of 16.77. You see him in the middle of your screen as well, taking the title as well in that one to stake Camp Point Central to some more points. They did very well. 100-meter dash was fun today on both fronts. On the girls' side, you had to know that Sailor Berry was going to be in the mix, and she certainly was in this one. She ends up running a time of 13.19 first place. Sadia Hodges of Quincy High School would finish in second in a time of 13:32. Sailor Berry getting the job done in this one. The boys' meet, though, was the big time showing today. You had Ian Bensinger and Keegan Sunday of Illini West and Liberty, respectively, on the same course. And Mr. Bensinger, who got somehow left out of top times last week, does the deed, winning in 11.13. Thumbs up after the run for us as well. Good to see him getting a chance to show what he can do. Girls 800 meter now. You kind of knew that the Quincy High girls were going to dominate because they are so good at cross country, and here they come. Olivia Schuring in first place and Amick McClelland, one of my favorite totally Irish names, coming in second in this one. Schuring at a time of 2:29 in the 800. McClellan in a time of 2:33. Boys 800 meter, Cameron McDonough right here from Quincy High School wins at a time of 2:06. Chase Mudd from Illini West just behind him at a time of 2:08 for second place. We talked about the sprints and particularly the sprint relays now. Boys 4x2. Illini West going to run away with this one, led by Thomas Chandler, Ian Bensinger, Colin Kerfman, and Isaiah Knotts. there's no competition for them. They are simply that much better than everybody else, something to keep an eye on as we start counting down towards state. 1:33 your time there. On the girls' side today, I wasn't aware that Macomb's 4x1 was going to be this good, but they certainly are. They've got a couple of youngsters in here, including the freshman Aubrey Holthouse, who are difference makers in this one. They win. Haley Emmerich, Aubrey Holthouse, Mirabelle Quinn, and Jordan Hines getting the win tonight. They hold off Camp Point. Macomb wins with a 51-62. Camp Point with a 51-87 in second place. All right, let's take a look at our team standings today. Quincy High School sweeping on the boys and the girls' side. Not a real surprise to anybody who knows how stacked this was. On the girls' side, Illini West Central, on the boys' side, Illini West showing out in second place, as I mentioned. Camp Point Central really good as well. Here's those girls' results. Macomb is a rising power. Just realize that with all the young talent. I mentioned Aubrey Holthouse already has a state title to her credit indoor in the high jump, so Macomb is going to put up a lot of points on everybody. Rushville Industry third, Camp Point Central fourth, and Liberty fifth on the day. And we'll have more overtime coming your way. Actually, I've got a tennis score to give you as well before we get to that. Quincy High School today playing down in the Edwardsville Invitational. Splits their day. The Blue Devils, by virtue of tiebreakers and the points they won, end up with a second place finish. They fall to Dunlap today, but end up beating O'Fallon. And now we'll have more overtime coming your way straight after this.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, working for you.
College scoreboards now, not a banner weekend for Quincy University on the road at Drury as they drop the series finale. 11-6 your final, and the Hawks lost 3 of 4 this weekend. That was not good. Good weekend, though, for Culver Stockton, which took 3 of 4, including one more today at the expense of visiting Mount Mercy. Jordan Scott with a home run and 3 ribbies in that victorious and decisive series-winning game. And by the way, our friend Scott Holland, as I'm standing here, just sent me a WIU baseball score. They fall today to Tennessee Tech. 12-8 is your final there. Let's do some softball. Rough day for the Quincy University Lady Hawks as they were hosting UIS today, down 8-2 in this one. This is the second game of a twin bill. Isabella Shields, though, trying to bring her team back. A little single over second base, plates a run, makes it 8-3. KJ Weller trying to close things effectively and trying to keep Illinois Springfield at bay, I should say, gets the strikeout here as well. Just not to any avail as QU gets swept. They lose this game by the final count of 8-3. And earlier in the day, they dropped a game 3-1 to Illinois Springfield as well. So as I mentioned, a rough day overall today for the Quincy University Lady Hawks. Also today, Culver Stockton on the road in softball as we go to the scoreboard. And you can see Culver Stockton at Mount Mercy struggled as well. Swept today by a good squad. 13-1 and 4-2 were your finals. Track and field news is much better for Culver Stockton today. Central Methodist Invitational the last 2 days. The locals once again showing out for the Wildcats. Drew Mallett, the pride of Highland High School, second place in the decathlon. His 6,097 points is second all-time for any Culver Stockton decathlete and currently sits second in the country in the NAIA right now. Logan Lucas, the pride of Monroe City, wins the steeplechase yet again today. First place for him there and set a new school record in a 6th place finish of 16:29.42 in the 5,000-meter run. How about on the girls' side, or the women's side, I should say? Delaney Strauss, the pride of Marion County High School, wins the pentathlon crown, sets a new school record with 4,158 points. That is currently the 4th best mark this year in the NAIA. And Liberty speedster Shannon O'Neill, 3rd place in the hurdles today in a time of 1:06. Again, that's the 400-meter hurdles. Good stuff for Miss Shannon O'Neill. Finally, a reason for more pride in the city of Macomb. Lots of good basketball there this year. Well, also Macomb has given rise to a Division II national championship coach. He is Matt Morgenthaler, who ended up leading Minnesota State Mankato today to a win 88-85 over Nova Southeastern. By the way, Minnesota State Mankato, both the men's and women's Division I national champs. That's a pretty special turn of events. Matt Morgenthaler doing the job and getting another title. We've had a couple of those around here from some really good coaches who've gone on to other levels and won. So congratulations to Matt for joining that esteemed group again. What a year for Macomb basketball. And we'll have more overtime coming your way after this.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, working for you.
And welcome back to Overtime, everybody. If you followed high school volleyball around here in the last couple of years, you undoubtedly remember the names Gabby Wiley-Wyman and Josie Stanford, both for their high school success here and their successful Division I careers in college. They are impacting a new set of players from around this area with a chance to build a national club volleyball powerhouse right here in our own backyard, one that is already qualified for nationals. Zach Richardson has a great story about how this young group of girls from all over the place, from high schools around the tri-states, have really put together something special and have a chance to make real impact in Las Vegas a little later this year. Again, that story coming your way Easter Sunday right here with our Zach Richardson. I'm all out of time, everybody.